7 points clear of Toyota. The third round of the championship took the teams to Kenya for the Safari Rally. It's the longest and toughest event on the calendar and the only World Championship rally held on open roads. The event would require the drivers to draw on all their abilities.
So completely different question of surviving, intelligence, endurance.
Take no chances.
A little bit unpredictable.
Very hot, very rough.
The rally's unique demands required race suspension and air intakes for the engines, but there were difficulties the teams couldn't prepare for.
Problem is the animal.
Pre-rally conditions were exceptionally hot and dry, but that would have little effect on an event that's remarkably tough, whatever the weather. This year's event started with a short super competitive section where drivers battled it out head-to-head. Petter Solberg was Ford's third number 2 driver in as many events. The Norwegian replaced Thomas Rodstrom, who broke his leg prior to the recce. The 24-year-old finished 10th fastest over the 2.5-kilometre section. Harry Rovanperä hoped to put the disappointment of Sweden behind him and drove well, finishing the day in 8th. After a recce accident, Colin McRae started the rally with a broken thumb, but nevertheless posted the 4th fastest time on stage 1. Pierre Liati and Richard Burns were out together. The Italian, back after being replaced by snow specialist Gronholm at the last round, was 5th fastest. Burns, who won here last year, placed the Subaru 2nd. Carlos Sainz, who won this event in 1992, got his Safari Rally off to a good start, finishing the section 3rd. 4 places in front of his teammate Didier Auriol. Compatriots Mäkinen and Kankkunen raced each other in the opening test. It was the Subaru driver's 130th World Championship start and marked it by winning the stage with Mäkinen down in 12th. The competition began in earnest the following day, running over 300 kilometres of competitive stages. The notoriously tough rally didn't take long to claim its first victim. Freddie Loix and co-driver Sven Smits suffered a high-speed flip on the day's 2nd stage.
He went into this hole in 5th gear instead of 2nd, and the car went end over end. Freddie's fine, he's back in the hospital, we've done an x-ray and there's nothing broken, a bit of whiplash and he's on painkillers, so we're pleased to hear that. And Sven, his co-driver, he's walking about, he's fine.
The next stage was to see the retirement of another leading entry, Juha Kankkunen. The Finn's engine management system failed, leaving him very disappointed after his competitive start. But there were problems for Mäkinen too. The Mitsubishi driver lost 12 minutes when he suffered 2 flat tyres. The help he received from locals prompted accusations of illegal outside assistance. An eventful first leg was over, with Burns leading from Sainz, McRae, Auriol, Mäkinen and Liati. Another 4 long and difficult stages awaited the drivers on leg 2. Burns, first on the road, was fastest over the opening stage and was leading by over 25 seconds when disaster struck.
Is there anything in the car we can use?
I can't advise you, Richard, because I don't know where it's broken.
It's at the bottom of the hub, where the arm bolts onto the hub. It's just sheared off.
Sainz's day wasn't much better when he dropped to 6th after a series of problems.
And the bonnet, Pepper, the bonnet is open, the clips has gone. I don't know what happened.
The troubles that affected Burns and Sainz benefited Colin McRae.
At the moment everything looks good, so Fingers crossed.
Scotsman had a trouble-free run, bar a couple of punctures, to lead by almost 15 minutes. With Solberg also driving well, any anxiety the team had about durability could be laid to rest. Didier Auriol was in second, 10 minutes ahead of Mäkinen after winning stage 7, but was to be bitterly disappointed when on the final section of the day he picked up 3 punctures. The Frenchman lost 17 minutes and dropped to third. After losing time the previous day, Mäkinen was surprised to be in second at the end of leg 2, but the Finn wasn't without his problems.
Unfortunately, he also hit quite a hard bump, and that did a bit of damage on the left-hand front strut and also the sump guard. So we're busy changing those components just now.
Pierre Eliatti finished 5th here last year in a 2-wheel drive Ibiza. He was on course for a repeat of that result at the end of leg 2, despite having to drive for more than 70 kilometres on stage 7 with brake problems. The third and final leg consisted of the 4 gruelling stages used in leg 1. The gap between Colin McRae and Tommy Mäkinen on any other event would be unassailable, but on the Safari, anything is possible. The Scotsman started first on the road, but didn't drive as hard as he might, aware that a mistake could cost him the victory.
Very well, just very steady. Tommy took quite a lot of time out of us, but there's no reason to push hard. We're just being very careful.
With McRae backing off, Mäkinen had to push, and push he did, closing to within 8 minutes, but his progress was hindered.
At the end we had to brake quite a lot for dust, because Colin was quite a lot slow, and last 40 kilometers we came in the dust and we couldn't do anything, we had to just brake.
In the end, Mäkinen's effort had been in vain. The Finn was excluded from the event when the stewards decided he had been in breach of the service rules.
You can only service your vehicle in a designated service park. Outside of those service parks, you are not allowed any outside assistance, and you're not allowed any personnel to assist you in repairing the car.
Mäkinen's exclusion benefited the Toyota drivers most. Didier Auriol moved up to second. The Frenchman was quickest over the day's opening stage, but was unable to take the challenge to the Mitsubishi driver, and so was grateful for the extra 2 points. Carlos Sainz moved up to third, although he experienced yet more problems over the tough terrain.
I broke drive shaft or the rear diff, we don't know yet. We are trying to fix it. Seems that is not my lucky event again.
But the Spaniard's luck held, and he took the final podium spot. Pierre Eliatti was looking for a points finish, but fortune was not on his side. The Italian's engine seized, ending his hopes. Local driver Ian Duncan, who won this event in '94, moved up the rankings from 6th to 4th after posting the fastest time over stage 11. Petter Solberg was told his aim was to finish the rally. This he did, and even scored points by coming 5th, completing a fine performance for the team. It was Colin McRae's 2nd win in Safari and Ford's 1st since 1977, denying Mitsubishi its 7th consecutive victory. McRae took victory without winning a single stage. Auriol finished over 14 minutes behind. Sainz was 3rd. Mäkinen still led the championship with Auriol 7 points adrift. Sainz and McRae were equal 3rd.